You are listening to The Art of Sales. Everyone sells every day, and this is your source for conversational, real-world sales and prospecting methods that you are comfortable using and that get results. You'll help people buy instead of pushing them into being sold. Here's your host, Art Subcheck.
Today I want to talk about a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, something that really tarnishes the sales profession, and it contributes to this feeling that sales is bad and people resist salespeople. And what I'm talking about is misrepresenting the reason for a call or an outreach. And let me give you an example of this. So I got a call and the person greeted me with, "Mr. Isaac." And I said, "It's pronounced Subcheck. What do you need?" And he said, "Oh, sorry, I'm Pat Jones with Trojan Golf." I'm not even sure what the name was. "You're still a golfer, aren't you?" Now, I'll normally listen to anything that's golf related, even if it is a telemarketer calling me at home, reading from a script, as this person was. Well, at least their target marketing was good. And I said, "Yeah, I do golf quite a bit." And then he went into the pitch. "Well, good news. As an avid golf fanatic, you've been selected to try out our new titanium irons. We're looking for feedback from golfers on these revolutionary new irons. These new irons..." And then I cut him off. I said, "Stop. I know the routine. You send out the clubs, and then I get an invoice after a trial period. You're not looking for feedback on your clubs. This is how you sell them, right?" And he said, "Well, yeah, we offer the opportunity to buy them after a free trial period, but there's no obligation." And I said, "I get it. Again, the purpose of this call is to sell golf clubs, not get feedback on irons, right?" And he said, "Well, again, you're under no obligation, and even if you nicked or scuffed them, you wouldn't have to pay for them." Oh, lucky me. How kind of them. So we ended that call. So bottom line here is this. Don't misrepresent sales calls. This is the problem, both to consumers and businesses. Many times, callers misrepresent themselves to get and keep someone on the phone. They use such ploys as, "We're taking a survey. We want to update our information. We're doing an opinion study. We're updating our records. We're conducting some marketing research." And then later in the call, they inform the person about their offer or that they'd like a salesperson to visit or call. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying surveys and marketing research don't have a useful function. They do. I use them myself. But don't mask a lead generation or a sales call as something that it's not. After all, think about this. If a company has to use less than upfront tactics to get you to buy, wouldn't it justifiably make someone a little bit leery about their product and the character? Okay, so you might be asking, well, what's the suggested alternative? Well, it's no different than what I always suggest. Have a great opening. Generate some interest and curiosity. Ask questions. Make a recommendation. Then ask for commitment for the next step. So let's take that golf club salesperson. Here's what he could have said to me. "Hey, Art, the reason for the call is that we have introduced a new line of irons that have been designed to help mid-handicappers eliminate their hooks and their slices and help better golfers shave those last few strokes off their scores. Hey, you still golf, right?" And then I would have said yes to that. Then he could have gone on with, "Well, great. Well, because we don't spend millions on advertising and we market these directly to golfers on a free trial, no risk basis, we're able to give wholesale prices for custom fitted clubs as good as what the pros use. And I'd simply like to ask a few questions about your game, your satisfaction with the equipment you use, and see if you'd like more information on these clubs." Now, that is something I would listen to. If that was delivered in a conversational way, if they were calling the right person, they would have somebody who would likely take them up on their offer. So with a well-planned opening and well-planned questions based upon the prospect's answers, sales reps can make persuasive, tailored recommendations and then ask for their commitment without trying to be shady and misrepresenting the reason for calling. Bottom line, if someone has to hide the reason they're calling, they either don't have anything worth buying or they don't have a sound strategy and tactics and skill to execute them. But the good news is that latter problem is fixable. Hey, you know what time it is.
Your attitude will be iron every way, you'll never feel what they say. It's the art of the sales quote of the day.
That's right. It's time for the quote of the day. And today's quote comes from Jim Rohn. And Jim said, "Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune." And speaking of self-education, I've got a lot of ways that you can get more self-education. For a lot of free stuff, go to my blog, smartcalling.com, smartcalling.com. Also, speaking of self-education, many companies right now are planning their sales kickoff meeting, again, depending on when you're listening to this. And if that is you, I would love to speak with you to see if there's a fit. I've done over 1,500 of these training programs, and depending on what you do and what you're looking for, we could custom tailor a program that covers the topics that you want to cover: prospecting, sales, inside sales, any aspect of that, ranging from an hour to several days, on-site or virtual. So if there's a fit, I would love to work with you, and let's find out if there's a fit. Go to this site, artsobczak.training. That's ARTSOBCZAK.training, or just give me a call, 480-699-0958. All right. Hey, thank you so much for investing your valuable time with me. Until next time, go out and make it your best sales day ever. I'm Art Sobczak.